I'm Steve Ember, and I'm Shirley Griffith with Exploration in VOA Special English. Imagine standing at the edge of a tall, bright 100 meters below you. River water rushes by. You take a deep breath and jump off the bridge, head first into thin air. As a reaction to such excitement and fear, the hormone adrenaline floods through your body. There is nothing but a long rubber rope attached to your ankles, holding on to your very life. Some people call it crazy, others say it is exciting. Whatever you may think, bungee jumping has become a popular extreme sport all over the world. Bungee jumping is not a new activity. Men on Pentecost Island in the South Pacific have been doing land jumping for hundreds of years. The men tie long vines from plants around their ankles. They spend days building tall towers out of vines and logs. Then they jump off these structures. It takes a great deal of skill to jump correctly and safely. Land diving for them is an important cultural activity. According to their belief, the first land diver was a woman. She decided to run away from her abusive husband, so she climbed up a tall tree and tied some vines around her feet. Her husband chased after her up the tree. He reached out to grab her, but the woman jumped and the man followed the vines, saved her life, but her husband died. Land diving has become a way in which these island men show their bravery in front of the woman. People of the village sing loud songs to show their support for the brave divers. This tradition is also a way from the men to voice their troubles in public. For example, a man can discuss his marriage problems before he jumps. The villagers, including his wife, must stand and listen. This ancient custom caught the interest of some students at Oxford University in England. In the late 1970s, they formed a group called the Dangerous Sport Club. They like to invent risky and sometimes crazy activities. They were some of the first people to test several of what are now called extreme sports. They are said to have invented modern bungee jumping. In the spring of 1979, members of the group jumped off the Clifton Suspension Bridge in Bristol, England. They were attached to the bridge by a bungee cord, a long elastic rope that stretches. They were dressed in black and white clothing and held bottles of champagne wine. The press quickly reported on their wild activity. The group soon received even more attention when they organized a bungee jump off the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, California. A man named A.G. Hackett of New Zealand later heard about this group. He decided to make the sport into a business. Mr. Hackett worked with his friend Henry Van As, who was an expert at Zaki. They started developing bungee ropes and materials. Scientists at Auckland University helped them. The two men knew that people would find bungee jumping exciting and fun, and they knew people would pay money for the experience. To show the world about bungee jumping, they held a major jump in 1987 of the famous Eiffel Tower in Paris, France. They later got permission to open the first bungee jumping operation on the Kawarau Bridge in Queenstown, New Zealand. Many people paid $75 to jump off the bridge with a bungee cord attached to their ankles. Mr. Hackett worked hard to make sure the public knew how safe his materials were. He developed a method to guarantee safety called the bungee code of parties. Bungee jumping might seem frightening, but is it a very safe activity if you go to a well-established bungee jump company? People who work for bungee operator usually have a great deal of training and experience. They use very strong and carefully made rubber ropes. They choose a rope based on the jumper body's weight. This is so they can manage how much the rope stretches when the person falls. The ropes attached through a harness device tied around the jumper ankles. Often operators use a body harness as well. This is so that you have twitch the protection in case one harness breaks. Good bungee operator make sure all equipment is in excellent condition. They should also do several checks to make sure all ropes, harness, and ties are correctly attached. It is important to remember that this sport is not safe to everyone. People who have high blood pressure or a heart condition should not try jumping. People with back or knee injuries or who suffer from epilepsy should also avoid this sport. And remember, if you do not feel like experiencing it yourself, you can always watch other people jump. Now you have jumped, bounced up and down several times on the rubber ropes and are hanging by your ankles in the middle of the air. You may be wondering what you are supposed to do now. Do not worry, the operators have different choices for getting you back to land right side up again. Oftentimes a bungee guide on a rope will attach to your ropes and help you back up to the structure your jump for. One extreme sport company gave a warning on its website. It warns that bungee jumping might lead to big smile and deep feeling of happiness and excitement. Since it Beginning in New Zealand, commercial bungee jumping has spread to countries everywhere. One of the highest bungee jump in the world from a structure in near Locarno, Switzerland over the Verzasta Dam. The drops measure 220 meters. In fact, you can see the character James Bond jump of the very bright in the 1995 movie Golden Age, or there is the 260-meter jump from the Blue Cross Bright in South Africa. This is the highest single arch bright in the world. Of course, not every place has a body of water wide or bright from which you can jump. Some amusement parks offer bungee jumping from Crane Mountaineering in the Andes Mountains of Peru. You can visit Action Valley outside the city of Cusco. Visitors can jump from a metal box that hang Visitor can jump from a metal box that hang from cables high up in the air. Most of these companies can sell you video recording or photograph of your jump. This way you can prove to your family back home that you were brave enough to bungee. Now, extreme sport companies are finding ways to make bungee jumping even more frightening. Some offer bungee jump at night or jumps where you fall off a structure backward. There are also bungee jump from flying helicopter and hot air balloons. You can also try bungee jump for two. Some companies can harness two people together so you and a friend can experience the excitement. E.g. Hackett Company even after a sky jump off the tallest building in Macau. Just how far would you go to experience the fast rush of bungee fear? No. Hosia Hosia Mujinwa helped run a bungee operation on the Victoria Falls bridge between Zimbabwe and Zambia in Africa. He has been jumping from this 111-meter drop for many years. From the still bright you can see the giant water of Victoria Falls. One of the large waterfall in the world. Mr. Muziwa explained that every human being wants to feel the rush of adrenaline. He say when you bungee jump, you leave stress and bad thinking behind. He say come back up with a new mind. But what does a person who is new bungee jumping think about this sport? Tim Rooney recently traveled to Victoria Falls. He only had 24 hours to spend in Zimbabwe, but he made sure he found time to jump off this famous bridge toward the powerful Zambezi River. Here is what he had to say about the experience. Tim Rooney. Hey, I'm the Tim Rooney from Washington DC. Jumping off the bridge was one of the most spectacular footage moments of my life. The idea hadn't really occurred to me until we got to the fall and we saw the view. I decided what better way to get to know this view than to jump into it. I think that it jump had more a scary impact on my girlfriend who had a watch and waltzing to and observes a bungee jump look like a terribly felt and process, but the actual experience of it is one of floating. You jump and you don't have any sensation of being tugged or falling or anything. You just are floating up and down. It is one of the most wonderful things I have ever done. I recommend everybody to do it. This program was written and produced by Dana Demich. I'm Steve Ember, and I'm Shirley Griffin. You can read and listen to this program on your website, voaspecialenglish.com. Join us again next week for the experience in VOA Special English. Bye-bye!